while their parents go bowling. After she puts them to bed, she now waits for the parents' return. Something was in her room. She sat up and turned on the light, heart thudding, breathing hard, blinking, unprotected. A large, heavy moth was fluttering in the far corner of the ceiling. She pulled herself together and after a moment got up, harried it out of the corner with a rolled up magazine, and trapped it on the curtain with a glass. She held her hand over the mouth of the glass, the moth's wings wildly scrabbling across her palm and making a ringing sound against the glass. She carried it out through the dark and silent hall into the bathroom, managing the light, and shook it into the toilet, which she immediately flushed. She washed her hands, wiped neck, breast, and face. Her face was splotchy, harshly shadowed, with dilated pores and lines and sagging jowls. A broad upturned nose, mouth drawn and set, eyes somber, reddened, staring blankly from under gathered brows. She avoided their gaze. Ruthie lay in an awkward sprawl. Susan's arm dangled down. They seemed dumped in their beds, all in a heap, sheets kicked back, mouths gaping, eyes sealed tight. She listened to their shallow, measured breathing, gasp and sigh, smelled the scent of their sleeping bodies. Street light flickered on the wall, on the dresser, on her then as she moved closer, cautiously. She stood beside their bunk bed, poised and alert. Susan drew her arm back suddenly, wiped her face, and turned over on her back with a cranky murmur and a jouncing of springs. Ruthie slept on. Her right knee was raised, left bent out, right arm lying on her stomach, left stretched out to the side, fingers clutching the sheet. Her face was turned towards her. She wanted to promise them something, but couldn't find words. Stooping down stealthily, softly, she reached across and drew up Ruthie's sheet with a slow, agonized deliberateness. And when Ruthie stirred, she leaned over and kissed her hair with a kiss she'd never know about. Back in her room, the clock said 12:20. She couldn't sleep. The way Mary stalked out, she thought. She was staring across at the dark corner where the photographs hung. Father, mother, Mary and herself. She 13 and Mary 5. She really didn't need to see the photographs to know them or any details of this room. The wallpaper, faded bar on bar of twining roses, she'd chosen at age 18. Mother died just after that. The chair, the dresser had stood there nearly all her life, as had this bed with scrolls and posts beyond her feet. She gave them most of her money. She tried to please them, kept out of their way. The car door slammed. Footsteps, voices. She sat up. The screen door yawned. She got up, hurried to close her door. On the way back, the front door squealed. She turned off her light, lowered herself, and rolled onto the bed, squirmed, lay still. Footsteps scuffled. Beneath her door, a glow appeared. Her heart was thumping and her head throbbed. She blinked up at her darkened room. She might have left a light on, Mary said. Shh. Closet door closed. Just then something went thud and scattered. Damn it. Saw Mary's bag and Mary squatted. There were sounds of picking up little things and tossing them back in. I can do it. Look, pipe down. Don't you shush me because of her. Clip, clip. Mary's footsteps went into the kitchen. Bang, the cupboard slammed. Oh, Mary, what the hell? Come on now, he urged, passing into the kitchen, where his voice grew muffled. I thought we settled this. She strained to hear. Settled what? Came Mary's voice. I can't move. I can't make a noise around here without you jumping down my throat. Will you shut up? I don't care if she hears. I hope she does hear. What does she mean to you anyway? Why do you keep protecting her? You're not even making sense. His voice went on too low for her to catch the words, insistently reasoning, rebuking. Then he paused and in a friendly, final tone, Come on, he said. He must be near the doorway. Let's call it quits. Let's go to bed. If you don't want her here, why don't you do something? What can I do? You could quit acting like you're afraid of her. She's got you wrapped around her finger. Oh, sure, make a face. Listen to me. I want this house. I want my family to myself. Do you understand? What have I got to do? 5 years I've been married, and what do I get from my husband? Do I get a decent living? Do I get friends? No. No, I don't. I get kids and a stupid, stinking little apartment and a fat, stupid husband wallowing around in his fat ass all the time and scared of his own father and too damn lily-livered and lazy to get out and accomplish anything. And finally, when we have a house left to us, what then? You don't want to see my sister hurt. You'd rather have her hanging on our necks when all you have to do is simply tell her, look, we need the house. We want you to move out. Stupid, lazy, and what? Hold it. Wait a minute. Jesus, I'm trying to be fair. Maybe that's something you can't understand, but you better learn. And don't give me this crap on letting you down. I give you a steady living. I do my best. You could damn well show some gratitude. And as for Anna May, how you can stand there, drunk or sober, and talk about just throwing her out when she's got no place else to turn. Your father hasn't been gone for 3 months even. What's wrong with you? Oh, shut up. You think you just step over people? Shut up. Don't you criticize me. I'm talking about us in the interest of this family. I'm telling you, I can't stand her. I can't go on living with her. Now, don't you turn around and tell me, be kind, be fair. All right, Mary, calm down. Will you calm down a minute and listen to me? Whose idea was it moving here in the first place? Wait a minute. Keep away from me. She had nothing to do with this. Nothing. She still heard Howard. Not hurting anyone? You can't get along? That's more your fault. They were in the living room. Her head turned as she rubbed her face, raked her hair while her leg bent and pushed against the sheet, and darkness pulsed with living, swarming things that crawled and crept and flew against her with their poisons. Forcing herself, interfering, intruding on her privacy. And you like it, don't you? Don't you? They lay like two bodies, raw with sores. They kept shifting their weight around stiffly, gingerly, as if some new positions could reduce the strain. The sheets were hot, abrasive. The air was sticky. Outside were distant sounds of traffic. They lay so close, yet rigid, each one clenched and shunning the other. They stared up into the darkness and listened to each other breathe and swallow, grind their teeth. She felt their minds churn backward over the details of their quarrel. She felt the fitful, nagging doubts, the accusations, the cramped, raw twitchings of their nerves. Howard cleared his throat and yawned. They were aware of her. She felt their wills pressed through to her like rays. Their curses thickened, gathered, swelled. Her own mind reeled. She cringed away, far, far deep within herself, shrank away, doubled up and hiding, afraid to move, afraid to stir, and fighting all her body's processes, until finally came a rustling and a throaty groan. They turned together wordlessly. They grappled, squirmed, and gasped and grunted, heedless of their noise.